ke ke hama aina me ke ke maoli na momi makamai ke kala iyo kamalu ona la iyo kamalu ona la wa olu kano nai kamoa e kama kani kama aina me ke ke hau Luie hu mauli na momi makamai Ki kala iyo kamalu ona lau kukui Ua olu kano honai kamoa e Kama kani kama aina me ke ke hau Luie hu mauli na momi makamai Ki kala iyo kamalu ona lau kukui Ikala iyo kamalu ona lau kukui Ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala ea Kapali ko olo o kalahiki makaaino ailo kahiwa hiwa o na kupuna aloha kahalu ui kaua po ai hale ele vehi no kapali ko olo o kalahiki makaaina o ailo Kahiwa hiwa o nā kupuna Aloha ka halu ui kaua po ai hale Ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala ea Ke ua mailai ma eli eli Ke hele a ela kaua ka halepa Ha'ahula lea kaua i te kai Kaua o ki koa Ke ua mailai ma eli eli Ke hele a ela kaua ka lepa Ha'ahula lea kaua i ke kai Kaua o ki koa o he eia Ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala ea Ua olu kana honai ka moa e Kama kani kama ina me ke ke hama aina me ke ke maoli na momi makamai Ke kala iyo kamalu ona lau Ua olu kano honai kamoa e Kama kani kama aina me ke ke hau Luie hu mauli na momi makamai Ki kala iyo kamalu ona lau kukui Ua olu kano honai kamoa e Kama kani kama aina me ke ke hau Luie hu mauli na momi makamai Ki kala iyo kamalu ona lau kukui Ikala iyo kamalu ona lau kukui Ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala ea Kapali ko olo o kalahiki makaaino ailo Kahiwa hiwa o nā kupuna Aloha ka halu ui kaua po ai hale Ele i vehi no kapali ko olo o kalahiki makaaina o ailo Kahiwa hiwa o nā kupuna Aloha ka halu ui kaua ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala ea. Ke ua mailai ma eli eli, ke hele a ela ka ua ka halepa. Ha'ahula le a ka ua I ke kai, ka ua o ki ko'a o he eia. Ke ua mailai ma eli eli, ke hele a ela ka ua ka halepa. Ha'ahula le a ka ua I ke kai, ka ua o ki ko'a o he eia. Ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala ea. Ua olu ka nahona I ka moa e, ka makani ka ma'ina me ke keha. Uie hu maoli na momi ma ka mai, I ka la'i o ka malu o na lau kukui. Ua olu ka nohona I ka moa e, ka makani ka ma'aina me ke keha. Uie hu maoli na momi ma ka mai, I ka la'i o ka malu o na lau kukui. Ua olu ka nohona I ka moa e, ka makani ka ma'aina me ke keha. Uie hu maoli na momi ma ka mai, I ka la'i o ka malu o na lau kukui. I ka la'i o ka malu o na lau kukui. Ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala ea. Hele I hehi no ka pali ko olo, o ka lahiki ma ka aino ailo. Ka hiwa hiwa o nā kupuna, aloha ka halu'ui ka ua po ai hale. Hele I hehi no ka pali ko olo, o ka lahiki ma ka aina o ailo. Ka hiwa hiwa o nā kupuna, aloha ka halu'ui ka ua po ai hale. Ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala ea. Ke ua mailai ma eli eli, ke hele a ela ka ua ka halepa. Ha'ahula le a ka ua I ke kai, ka ua o ki ko'a o he eia. Ke ua mailai ma eli eli, ke hele a ela ka ua ka halepa. Ha'ahula le a ka ua I ke kai, ka ua o ki ko'a o he eia. Ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala ea. Ua olu ka nahona I ka moa e, ka makani ka ma'ina me ke keha. Uie hu maoli na momi ma ka mai, I ka la'i o ka malu o na lau kukui. Ua olu ka nohona I ka moa e, ka makani ka ma'aina me ke keha. Uie hu maoli na momi ma ka mai, I ka la'i o ka malu o na lau kukui. Ua olu ka nohona I ka moa e, ka makani ka ma'aina me ke keha. Uie hu maoli na momi ma ka mai, makaaina o ʻŌlelo ka hiwa hiwa o nā kupuna aloha ka haluʻui ka ua po ai hale haʻala 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 ea ke ua mailai ma eli eli ke hele a ela ka ua ka halepa haʻahula leʻa ka ua i ke kai ka ua o ki koʻa o he eia ke ua mailai ma eli eli ke hele a ela ka ua ka halepa haʻahula leʻa ka ua i ke kai ka ua o ki koʻa o he eia haʻala 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 ea ua ʻolu ka nahona i ka moa e ka makani ka maʻina me ke keha Uiehu maoli nā momi ma ka mai I ka laʻi o ka malu o nā laupuhui Ua ʻolu ka nohona I ka moa e ka makani ka maʻaina me ke kehau Uiehu maoli nā momi ma ka mai I ka laʻi o ka malu o nā laupuhui Ua ʻolu ka nohona I ka moa e ka makani ka maʻaina me ke kehau Uiehu maoli nā momi ma ka mai I ka laʻi o ka malu o nā laupuhui I ka laʻi o ka malu o nā laupuhui Haʻala, haʻala, haʻala ea Hele I hino ka pali ko olo O ka lahiki ma ka ʻaina o ʻailo Ka hiwa hiwa o nā kupuna Aloha ka haluʻui ka ua po ai hale Hele I hino ka pali ko olo O ka lahiki ma ka ʻaina o ʻailo Ka hiwa hiwa o nā kupuna Aloha ka haluʻui ka ua po ai hale haʻala 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 ea Ke ua mailai ma eli eli ke hele a ela ka ua ka halepa haʻahula leʻa ka ua i ke kai ka ua o ki koʻa o he eia Ke ua mailai ma eli eli ke hele a ela ka ua ka halepa haʻahula leʻa ka ua i ke kai ka ua o ki koʻa o he eia haʻala 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 ea Ua ʻolu ka nahona I ka moa e ka makani ka maʻina me ke keha Uiehu maoli nā momi ma ka mai I ka laʻi o ka malu o nā laupuhui Ua ʻolu ka nohona I ka moa e ka makani ka maʻaina me ke kehau Uiehu maoli nā momi ma ka mai I ka laʻi o ka malu o nā laupuhui Ua ʻolu ka nohona I ka moa e ka makani ka maʻaina me ke kehau Uiehu maoli nā momi ma ka mai I ka laʻi o ka malu o nā laupuhui I ka pali ko olau o ka lahiki makaaina o ʻŌlelo ka hiwa o nā kupuna aloha ka haluʻui ka ua po ai hale ha'ala ea ke ua mailai ma eli ke hele a ela ka ua ka halepa ha'ahula le'a ka ua I ke kai ka ua o ki ko'a o he eia ke ua mailai ma eli ke hele a ela ka ua ka halepa ha'ahula le'a ka ua I ke kai ka ua o ki ko'a o he eia ha'ala ea ua olu ka nahona I ka moa e ka makani ka ma'aina me ke keha hui e humauli nā momi ma ka mai I ka la'i o ka malu o nā laupuhui ua olu ka nohona I ka moa e ka makani ka ma'aina me ke kehau hui e humauli nā momi ma ka mai I ka la'i o ka malu o nā laupuhui
Aloha mai kākou, it's Mailani Makaʻinaʻi, and I'm here at the Hale in the 702 Las Vegas, Nevada, South Side. I would like to say thank you to the Hale for providing Ike Hawaiʻi some Hawaiian education, a couple Sundays a month. It's the home of Hawaiian music here, the home of island contemporary reggae music, the home of the best local style recipes you can find. This Hale has become our Hale. Our Hale is your Hale. So Hale mai, we're off of Windmill and Blue Diamond. So when you're ready to come check us out, if you are from home, Hale mai, this is your spot. And for all of the locals living in Las Vegas, Hale mai, Hale mai. Today is our Papa ʻŌlelo Hawaiʻi class, sponsored by the Hale and our other funding members. But in the meantime, we'd also like to say a huge aloha to the Pure Aloha Festival taking place in downtown Las Vegas over at the Rio. We are going to be going over some ʻŌlelo Hawaiʻi, but more so looking into the kaulana mahina. So the phases of the moon, also a very important and integral part of Hawaiian ʻike. This is how Hawaiians could tell time. And as we go through the phases and the moon names, you become more inspired by our people's wisdom, how closely our alamanaka, which stands for almanac, how closely it relates to other older civilizations that have been written of, like the Mayans, and I can go into further detail as we jump into that. However, first we will open with Na'au Makua, and this is something that a lot of our people do. We have a usual opening of pule before we start anything, because we're very spiritual people that look to bless the opening, the place that we're in, the people that are a part of it. So even if you're not here physically, we send this aloha out to you. Na'au Makua is a term that we use for the spirits, the guides that are available to us, especially when we call upon them. So we will begin now. And we say Na'au Makua 3 times in a row. Okay? A'oia. Na'au Makua mai ka lahiki a ka lākau, mai ka hoʻokuʻi a ka halawai. Na'au Makua ia ka hinakua ia ka hinaalo. Ia ka ākau I ka lani, o kiha I ka lani, o we I ka lani, nunulu I ka lani, ka holo I ka lani. Eia nā pulapula o ko a poʻe Hawaiʻi Las Vegas. E malama o ko ia mākou, e ulu I ka lani, e ulu I ka honua, e ulu I ka pai aina o Hawaiʻi, e ho mai ka ike, e ho mai ka ikaika, e ho mai ke aka mai, e ho mai ka mau popopono, e ho mai ka ike pāpalua, e ho mai ka mana. Na'au Makua mai ka lahiki a ka lākau, mai ka hoʻokuʻi a ka halawai, na'au Makua ia ka hinakua ia ka hinaalo. Ia ka ākau I ka lani, o kiha I ka lani, o we I ka lani, nunulu I ka lani, ka holo I ka lani. Ia nā pulapula o ko a kupo e Hawaiʻi Las Vegas. E malama o ko ia mākou, e ulu I ka lani, e ulu I ka honua, e ulu I ka pai aina o Hawaiʻi, e ulu I ka aina ianeʻi o ke aina nei, e ho mai ka ike, e ho mai ka ikaika, e ho mai ke aka mai, e ho mai ka mau popopono, e ho mai ka iki pāpālua, e ho mai ka mana. Na'au Makua mai ka lahiki a ka lākau, mai ka hoʻokuʻi a ka halawai. Na'au Makua ia ka hinakua ia ka hinaalo. Ia ka ākau I ka lani, o kiha I ka lani, o we I ka lani, nunulu I ka lani, ka holo I ka lani. Eia nā pulapula o kou o ka poʻe Hawaiʻi. E malama o kou ia mākou, e ulu I ka lani, e ulu I ka honua, e ulu I ka pai aina o Hawaiʻi, e ho mai ka ike, e ho mai ka ikaika, e ho mai ke aka mai, e ho mai ka mau popopono, e ho mai ka ike pāpālua, e ho mai ka mana. A mama, ua noa. And so we do this Na'au Makua 3 times. It's good to continue. Repetition is one of the best ways that we learn. And now we're going to get started with our Kaulana Mahina presentation. So let me get this up. Kaulana Mahina. So there are over 100 publications and over 100 years of publications. Oli, a chant, recordings, mele that have been written about the moon. So The Gregorian calendar is what we currently use, the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. However, the Hawaiian calendar is quite different. There are 3 anahulu. So one anahulu is 10 days. So 3 anahulu makes the mahina, or the malama, the month, a 30-day month cycle. There's so many things that can go into why learning the phases of the moon, or at least getting a little familiar with them, are important. Okay, Kaulana Mahina, when I first saw Kaulana Mahina, I thought, oh yeah, the infamous moon, the notorious moon. But when I mentioned there are over 100 publications of writings, documentation about the study of the movement of the moon and the movement of time, the passing of time, Kepalino, Joseph Poipoi, and Timeraka Venapukui, these are some of our great historians that we rely upon, their writings, their collections, the fact that they grew up in old Hawaii and their link to an older wisdom, an older ike, all of that is what is available to us as Hawaiians now. So we always honor their names and their work because they made sure to put this work in writing. And many of them went through a lot of sacrifices, took time away from their families to go out and seek older knowledge. But getting back to Kaulana Mahina, Joseph Poipoi, he has this whole Kaulana Mahina thing because Kaulana Mahina really means Kaulana, like the movement of the moon. The kau, the setting, the placement of the moon. Lana, we know lana means to like float or lightly move. Lana malie in mele Hawaii, in Hawaiian songs, it means to glide, float nicely on the surface of the water. And so kaulana mahina is kind of like that, the way the moon moves. Okay? In traditional times, a typical understanding of a Hawaiian day, or from one time span to another time span. Sometimes it would be from midnight to midnight. Sometimes it would be from sunset to sunset. And so the po, or the evening time, is really kind of the time of focus that you'll see throughout the names and throughout the movement of the moon, the phases of the moon. It's very, very important to our survival because certain times of the moon would not be a good time to plant. Those times, like the ʻŌlelo moons, would be times where we would clean house, or we would fix our nets, or we would tend to the garden a certain way. And then the other times of the moon phases, that's when we go holo holo, that's when we go fishing. That's when we plant certain things. That's when the flowers bloom. So all of this was a matter of survival for our people. Now, mahi'ai is a term for farmer, but truly a farmer was more of a kamakakilolani, someone who paid attention to the moon and the seasons and the change of season, because seasons change. And this is so parallel to life, to friendships, to the chapters that we're in, from the time we're a child to our prime, to after our prime, and then we age out and it's our final chapters of life. And Hawaiians understood this very carefully. And we understood that also in our relation to la'au. I want to talk about the word la'au. La'au is known as like plants. It's known as healing herbs, greenery. We use the term la'au to pretty much anything that can be grown, anything in the forest. But if you look at the word la'au, it means to heal oneself. La'au, la'au. And I think that that's so beautiful when we break down our language and we take time to really think about what these terms mean in our language. And so la'au really means for us to turn back to the aina, back to the forestry, back to our la'au, and ingest the things, consume the things that are nurturing to our bodies, to our spirit, and so on and so forth. When you think about la'au, or pick anytime you're in the forestry and your hand touches the soil, immediately, and this is backed up by science, immediately your health starts to improve. Even when you touch the lepo, or the dirt, or the mud in the lo'i, just touching that through your fingertips helps heal your body. And so I talk about a lot of these things because, you know, people say a trendy saying is go outside and touch grass. Well, that really comes from the fact that when you go outside in nature, you step on grass bare feet, or you touch the mud, you touch the lepo, you touch the aina, it improves your health immediately. And we have gotten so far away from living like that, living the way that all of our ancestors once lived, greatly. You know, now it's a matter of convenience, the way we've grown up in just going to the store to buy food, the way that we cook, the way that we clean. Now we see the world changing very, very quickly in front of our eyes, to where the people who know how to farm their food, their own vegetables, that's not only a matter of sovereignty, but it's also a matter of safety, making sure you know what you're putting into your body. Otherwise, do you know your farmer? Are there farmers here that you shop from directly? Or are there farmers that you know of back home that you buy from, that you can help support through financial means, and you're getting me'ai from that aina? We've gotten quite far away from that. I think in the coming years, that may return to where we start to build pilina with our farmers, wherever we are in the world. Okay, so all of that to say, now yes, these are old dates, but a typical lunar calendar is from November all the way to February. So this is like half the year and the other half the year. We have a wet and cool, cold season, and then we have a hot and drier season, okay? So this past year just finished, this past Hawaiian lunar calendar just finished this past February. Now a new one is beginning. Okay, so this season of Velehu, you can say that together with me, Velehu. It's from Novemapa, so November, the beginning of November to about December, Keke Mapa, okay? And it's about a 30-year period, okay? I'll go into some other diagrams after I finish going through the names of the moon. Okay. Right now we're just going through the names of the month, and this took place after the Gregorian calendar came into play. Okay. Makali'i, Kekemapa. We have Makali'i, and we also know Makali'i because it's the name of the Pleiades. And when the Pleiades rises, the seven sisters, the stars that rise in Christmas time, it's kind of like how I kind of remember it. Kekemapa is Christmas time. Kekemapa is December. Makali'i is the term of the seven sisters, or the Pleiades stars. This is also during the time of Makahiki and during the time of peace, where everything was noa. There was ai noa. You could eat whatever you wanted. There were no restrictions, no kapu. You could fish for certain fish that were usually reserved for certain seasons and usually reserved for ali'i only, but that was noa during Makahiki season. There are many games of celebration. No war could be fought during Makahiki season. It was viewed as the grievance, sacrilegious, an unforgivable sin if there was war during Makahiki season. And Makahiki usually starts in the beginning of November until the beginning of January. So Novet Mapa'a I Yuanuali. Okay. And here we see Kekemapa to Yuanuali Ka'elo. Ka'elo. Mahalo. Okay, Ka'elo is kind of like a little bit of January, ending of December to a little bit of January. As we move on, we have Kaulua, and that's the ending of January until Pepeluali, or February. Okay, Kaulua. We have Nana. Nana is from the ending of Pepeluali, February, until Malaki, March. Okay, the ending of February to the ending of March. We move on to Velo. Velo is the ending of Malaki, or March, into the ending of Apelila, or April. O keia malama, o keia mahina, o Apelila, O waikai no ka malama keia na keiki? Apelila pololei. O apelila keia mahina. O apelila keia malama. I also want to share as I'm saying mahina, yes, mahina is moon. Mahina also means month, and so does malama. Malama. There's multiple writings from multiple sources, which you can go to newpepa.org. You can sit through a handful of YouTube videos done by a lot of great researchers, historians, Kanaka that have studied this, like Pohai, Hiva, and so on and so forth. And a lot of their collection of ike comes from Nupepa. So newpepa.org, Nupepa in Hawaiian means newspaper. But of course, you're gonna have, the Hawaii Island people will say, no, it's this. And then Kauai has its own, they have their own moon calendar system that it's similar, but it's different. So you'll see a difference in terms, a difference in even the moon calendar itself, depending on what island these sources come from, which makes sense because yes, the Pai'aina, the archipelago, falls in the Pacific Ocean. We're close and relative to each other. But just like when you meet somebody from a different island, your pidgin going to be a little bit different. Yeah, we talk about this all the time. That is why, to this day, a typical Hawaiian conversation in ʻŌlelo will be "Owai koinoa no hea mai oi." These are all signifiers and indicators of how we make connection and how we understand where you're from. And in Pidgin, we just say, who you, where you from? Who you, where you from? That's ʻŌwai koinoa no hea mai oi. Yeah, and really what we're asking is not just who you, it's who do you come from? Who are your kupuna? What is the aina you come from? Do you know the name of the ua? What's the name of the makani? Hawaiians were so enthralled with knowing so much and also sharing it. And of course, we're a very competitive people. That's why I don't mind sometimes seeing online when Hawaiians get a little competitive with each other. Sometimes it gets a little dark, but for the most part, I don't mind it so much because that is who we are as a people. We're very competitive. We compete when it comes to genealogy. We compete when it comes to, well, my grandma is this and who's your grandma? We compete with our children. We compete with the things that we know. And that is just a part of who we are as Hawaiians and something that we have to understand, embrace, and move on from. We don't have to scrap each other. We just have to understand this is just a DNA thread of us. We've always been this way. And we're not the only kind of people who are competitive in what we know and how we can share it with each other. Okay, moving on. We have Iki Iki, which is from Apelila to May, end of Apelila to May. Iki Iki in Hawaiian also means humid and sticky. So for me, I'm curious about how this name came to be because Iki Iki for me back home in Kahalu'u really takes place like Okake, August, Kepakemapa, September. You know, those are the months that I find to be very iki, very sticky. So this term, iki, the way to remember iki, if you ever want to talk about iki, like, oh, iki no. Like, oh, how's the weather today? You know, typical conversation starter. How's the weather today? Back home, you can say iki. Now, here in Las Vegas, I probably will never say iki because why? Because the air here is dry. It's a dry climate in Las Vegas. We're in the desert. Ke one no. It's sandy, gritty, grainy. Right now it's windy. Nui kamakani. Ho kamakani. So this term, I would never say it's iki if I'm ever on this aina because we don't get the chance for it to be iki. We can say vela, vela no, hot like hell because it gets hot like hell out here. But a way to remember this term, iki, it rhymes with sticky, and it's for humid seasons. Okay, we're gonna. Hey, aloha, how's it? We're gonna move on to end of May to the end of Yune. So end of May to end of June, and this is known as Ka'aona. Okay. And then end of June into end of July. So end of June into end of July is Hinaya ele. And don't worry, I'll go into these terms as soon as I get through some of this. July, end of July or July into end of Aukake or August is known as Mahoi Mua. Mahoi Mua. Now, Mahoi, Mahoi in Hawaiian means twins. So, mahalo ke akua, I have twins. He Mahoi, he na Mahoi ka'u, I have twins. But also in the astrology, in Hawaiian astrology, we also refer to that as ho'okele, which means like navigation. There is a constellation known as Namahoi. Mahoi Mua, Mahoi Hope. There's a front star and a back star. And just like a lot of our knowledge is locked into Mele or ʻŌlelo, the same can be connected with our stars, our star names, our Mailani or our constellations. How did we remember this constellation from that? Well, through ʻŌlelo. And there was even a project I did on like Kahale o Maveke, so like the house of Maveke, and that star system, how that related to like the body. So really cool ways as we as Hawaiians use mnemonics, we use certain systems to help us remember our language, remember certain stars in the sky, remember certain la'au, and I can go on and on and on, and that's why I'm here. Okay, the next mahina or the next malama is known as Mahoi Hope. Okay, remember we have Mahoi Mua and Mahoi Hope. And if you are familiar with Hawaiian language, you'll be familiar with Imua and Ihope. Imua means forward, Ihope means back. Okay, and you also hear Imua, Ihope. You also hear Iluna, Ilalo. So up and down is Iluna, Ilalo, or Imua, Ihope, whichever way you think is Mua and Hope. This would be the back star of the Mahoi system. Okay, but really cool how they chose to use that star system, which appears during this time of the year. Okay, so the end of Aukake, the end of August into the end of September, Kepake Mapa, will be Mahoi Hope. And then we have Ikuwa. Ikuwa. If you guys are familiar with the chant, Iku mau mau, Ikuwa. Iku mau mau, Iku hulu hulu, Ika lanavau, Ikuwa. So Ikuwa takes place end of Kepake Mapa, end of September, to the end of Okakopa, October. I love this time of year. I'm a huge Halloween person, and I really like this time of year. It's also the time of year where night is more prevalent than day. So it's darker, longer hours of the day than it is light. I mean, I love all seasons, but I don't know. I like the dark. I like fall. Which brings me to, we'll get into more of the calendar, but for the Gregorian calendar, our Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you'll see La Pule for Sunday, because that's the day of Pule. And then we have the Po'akahi, Po'alua, Po'akolu, Po'aha, Po'alima, Po'aono. So even though sometimes when we're doing Ale Manaka with the keiki, and I ask, ehia kala keia, like what number of the day is it? And then I have to ask, he ehia owai, or like what is the po? He ka po, he Po'akahi, Po'alua, Po'akolu. And I ask that because it is a po. And why it is a po is because we connect our timing, the passage of time, the passing of time, really with the po, with the darkness, with the evening time, with the way that the moon, you see the moon mostly at night. You can see it better at night. You can see it during the day. Hawaiians knew that the moon was still there during the day, but you see the moon better at night. Okay, so Ikuwa is end of Kepake Mapa to the end of Okakopa. If you're like me and you get confused with Kepake Mapa and Keke Mapa, the way I remember Kepake Mapa with September is because September has a September. There's a P over there, so Kepake Mapa. That's what makes it September. And Keke Mapa is December, and so that December is the Keke Mapa. Okay, so Kepake Mapa, end of September into the end of Okakopa is Ikuwa. Okay. Then we have Velehu, again, end of Okakopa to the end of Novemapa, okay, end of November. And it's during this time that makahiki season starts to arise, okay, during the season of Velehu. And then we have, again, coming back to Makali'i, Novemapa to Kekemapa, okay? So, yeah, and it goes on and on and on. Okay, so names of the mahina. So a new mahina or a new moon is, I mentioned anahulu. So there's 3 anahulu in a mahina or in a malama. There's 3 10-day periods. So Hawaiian week really is 10 days, not 7. Okay, and the reason being is because in these time periods, the ho'onui, so the first anahulu is known as the ho'onui period. Ho'onui in Hawaiian means to get bigger, to make nui, to get nui, okay? It's when the moon rises, waxes, when the moon is growing, okay? So the first night is known as hilo moon. We have ho'aka, it's a second night. Kukahi, kulua, kukolu, kupau. And you're gonna start to really get more recognized with these terms. Okay, and you know your Hawaiian numbers, ekahi, elua, ekolu, eha, but kahi, lua, kolu, pau. That means these ku nights, the nights of ku, the nights of the akua of ku, there's only 4 of them. Kahi, lua, kolu, and the 4th one is pau, meaning that's the last cool night. That's the last cool moon. Okay? Then you have 4 phases of ole. Ole kukahi. Oh, shoot. Kalamai. Come on. Oh, kalamai. Ole kukahi, ole kulua, ole kukolu, and ole pau. So these 4 nights of ole, ole in Hawaiian meaning 0, even in our language like poina ole, if there's an ole after an adjective, then it means the opposite of that. So like poina ole, poina in Hawaiian means to forget. Poina ole is unforgettable or to not forget. I'll bring up a bunch in mele. So there's laha ole, lua ole, mai ole. So laha ole in Hawaiian means like to not compare, incomparable. Lua ole means second to none, yeah? Lua is second. Lua ole means not second. Okay? Laha ole, lua ole, palena ole. Palena in Hawaiian means boundary, it means limitation. So palena ole means to be free of boundary, to be limitless. Okay? And then mai ole, you'll hear mai ole in regards to la'au or to pua, like he pua mai ole. It means a flower that never fades, a flower that never wilts or dies. Mai ole. Okay? However, on these ole nights, this is when, I kind of mentioned it earlier in this presentation, this is when you're not fishing and you're not planting. These are nights that they're ole nights, so they're not nights for growing. They're nights for tending to your fishing nets, tending to your mala, tending to your garden, tending to your hale, cleaning house. It's a time to reset because you're not setting things into motion. You are resetting. You're resetting in preparation to put things into motion. Okay? Now, that's ho'onui. This is anahulu ekahi. This is the first set of anahulu. Okay? Now, this is the second set, the rounding mahina, the poi poi. Okay? This is known as huna, mohalu, hua, hakua, hoku. This infamous name, Mailani. Most keiki born on a full moon night will be given this name, Mailani. Or if they're named after an auntie or an uncle or a kupuna or somebody very special in the family and this was their name, most likely this name came because of the fact that they were born on the night of Mailani. Okay? Some Hawaiians believe there are 4 full moon nights. Some Hawaiians believe there are 3. I guess it depends on what season of the year, because maybe sometimes look like get 4 full moon nights, and maybe other nights look like only get 3. Okay? When Mailani is pau, now we go to kulu, and then we go to la'au kukahi, la'au kulua, la'au pau. These la'au nights or la'au moons, there are only 3. Because you see, there's la'au kukahi, la'au kulua. There's not la'au kukolu ʻaʻole. It's la'au kukahi, la'au kulua, and la'au pau. There's only 3 la'au nights after Mailani and after kulu. Okay? La'au kukahi, la'au kulua, la'au pau. And then we have the 3rd anahulu, which is known as emi, ho emi. So emi means to shrink. Even like in tides, the tides of the ocean, when it's low tide, we refer to that as emi, kikai emi. Okay. Kikai pi'i, a pi'i mai kanalu, a ho emi kanalu, a ho emi kikai. Okay. This is the diminishing anahulu, or also known as when the moon wanes, when the moon shrinks back down. Okay? And this anahulu begins after the la'au nights, la'au kukahi, la'au kulua, la'au pau. It goes back to ole. Ole kukahi, ole kulua, and then ole pau. Okay? And in this anahulu, there are only 3 ole nights as opposed to the 4. Okay? Kāloa kukahi, kāloa kulua, and kāloa pau. After the ole nights, following the full moon, following Mailani and kulu, we have 3 kāloa nights. Kāloa kukahi, kāloa kulua, kāloa pau. Okay? And then we have the names of Kane, Lono, Maoli, and Muku. And that is our Hawaiian moon calendar when we think about the phases of the moon. Okay? Has some information, but I'm also going to go to our Hui Mauliola's website really fast, because I'm just proud of the work that Hui Mauliola has been doing over the years, and also really stoked that our Hawaiian moon calendar sold out. So much so that we are in reprint, and it's already ʻŌlelo, but we are reprinting a little bit more and also gearing up for next year's Hawaiian moon calendar already. So here we go. This is an interactive live alemanaka, live calendar. Come on. Here we go. So you can have conversations with your keiki or your ohana just about the moon or about the calendar. Just having a daily conversation calendar-wise with your ohana in ʻŌlelo Hawaiʻi helps deepen not just your language, but even your understanding of how we saw time, and also how relative time is wherever we are in the world. Okay? So even though we are not in Hawaii, we're not on the Aina of Hawaii, I still go outside and look at the mahina and compare notes. Was today a windy day? Did it rain today? I smelled rain last night. It didn't pour like how rain pours back home in Hawaii, but I'm not in Hawaii. I'm here in Ke'ore'one o Las Vegas. Ka'aino ka po'e Paiute, ka'aino ka po'e Hualapai, ka'aino ka po'e Moapa. So I try to still take notes, at least mental notes, to pay attention to the seasons here and really wherever I am in the world. Anyhow, o ke'ia kala ke'ia o iwa kālua kuma ono o apelila. It is the 26th day of April. Okay? But kaino ka mahina o huna, he huna ke'ia. Okay? So if you're thinking of where we are in the mahina system, are we in a ho'onui phase? Are we in a poi poi phase? Or are we in a ho'emi phase? And so, shoot, I don't know why I got out of that. I better pull that back up. So if it's huna, are we growing? Are we shrinking? Are we rounding? What time of the moon cycle are we in? Okay, kalamai. One moment as it's loading. What moon phase are we in with huna? What anahulu is huna in? Okay. So ho'onui, remember, we have hilo hoaka kukahi kulua kukolu kupau, ole kukahi, ole kulua, ole kukolu, ole pau. Another way to remember these guys is the 4 nights of ku and the 4 nights of ole is only in the ho'onui anahulu. It's only in the growing stage of the moon. You have 4 ku nights and 4 ole nights. Okay? In the ho'emi, or the waning stage of the moon, in the shrinking stage of the moon, there's only 3 la'au nights and 3 ole nights, yeah? Okay, getting back to this part, we're in poi poi. So huna, we are in the first night of the second anahulu. Huna. And apopo, or tomorrow night, tomorrow's moon will be mohalu. Okay, so as you can see, the moon is growing. We're going to be growing into a full moon. Okay, and here you see po. He haka po, wai kai no ka po. He huna ke ia. It's the night of huna. Okay. We are in the season or malama or month of iki iki. We mentioned that. And this night is good for fishing, good to plant ipu. It's good for roots and other types of la'au. Okay. Another way to kind of remember your moon cycles when it came to fishing is when the moon looks like a cup. And I learned this from Uncle Brother Nolan. I love saying that. I love calling him that. Hey, Uncle Brother Nolan. I never call him just Brother Nolan. I always call him Uncle Brother Nolan. But anyhow, he would run a tracking program over on Molokai. I believe he still runs a bunch of programs. But he had this really cool trick to remember the seasons of the moon, when it's good to fish or not good to fish. And he said when the cup is up, that's when you can fish. Or when your net looks like a cup and it's up in the sky, it's a good time to fish. But if the cup is upside down, that means your net going to drop all the fish out, so it's not a good time for fishing. So really cool things to learn from each other. And if you guys have comments, yeah, please feel free to share. Okay, and you see apopo will be mohalu. As you go along in this interactive live moon calendar, you'll see there's certain things that's good to plant. Akua, yeah, good for fishing. And then we have hoku. That's on the 30th, the last day of Apelila. But when we go into May, there we have Mailani. Okay? Now, the full moon is when the moon is closest to the earth. Okay? Hawaiians knew this. We understood this. We understood this in our tide. We understood this in how our produce grew. Even in ho'olulahui, or in growing the nation, or in ho'ipo'ipo, or to grow your family. A night like Mailani is a good night to do so. And we would practice many different things, but that's also another thing in regards to fertility. A lot of Hawaiians who specialize in fertility, birthing, hanau, And I can go on and on and on. Mailani would be a night that is great for making life. Yeah, ho'olulahui, ho'ola kalahui, and I can go on and on. Now, right after Mailani, you see is kulu. And right after that, we go into the la'au kukahi, la'au kulua, la'au kupau, yeah? That's going to be these next 3 nights. Still good for fishing, still good for planting. Let me see. La'au pau, this is the last night that you're going to go fishing or you're going to plant anything, okay, in your garden, in your mala. As soon as you get to Kala Eono or May, now we hit the ole nights. And these are nights that you don't go fishing, you don't go out, and you don't plant anything. Okay? And it's going to be that for 3 nights in a row. Ole kukahi, ole kulua, and ole pau. And then it starts up again. Okay? Everything has a season. And that's what we're wanting to help kind of share, teach, and contribute. Okay? Let's see. I'm going to pull some things up real fast to give you some different diagrams. Kalamai. Now, yes, anybody can do this. I want to say aloha to Hui Mauliola for printing these calendars. Come on. Yeah. So the way the calendar has been printed is like a dial. Okay, this is how it looks. You can still order one online if you would like. It shows you the phases of the moon, what they kind of look like. We've helped kind of put it in order to the Gregorian calendar using the Hawaiian month names in relation to where they are in the Gregorian calendar. Okay, and even the dates. So that's why a circle like Hawaiʻi, if you see a circle in your mind and you say Hawaiʻi, everything kind of really fits together. Because in our calendar, we only have 30 days. 30 days each malama, 30 days each mahina. It's not 30, 31, 30, 31, 30, 31. That's not how it is for the way that the moon moves back in Hawaiʻi, okay? And here you see our start date or our ho'omaka or our beginning of our calendar actually takes place in Okakopa in October, okay? So we're already working on our next calendar, which will be available next October, this October. So we've got a few months to go. Okay, that's one way. That's one resource to check out. Come on. Here's another I like a lot. Okay. Mahina hapalua mua. Okay. The only thing though about this, I mean, I like it a lot, but it's not shown in the anahulu. Let me try and find something with anahulu. Oh, here we go. And after this, I will be jumping into some mele about the mahina. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Let's see. That's not coming up. Kalamai. There's also an app on your phone that you can download called Mahina. And if you go to the App Store and you look up Mahina, it's very affordable. The Hawaiian Moon Calendar, Keala Mahina. Where's my Mahina? Oh, there you are. I'll pull it up in just a moment. Oh yeah, see, I don't like that one. Looks just like this. You can go to App Store and download Mahina. It's very affordable. And as I mentioned, tonight is the night of Huna. It gives planting advice, fishing advice. Okay. It's not only about planting and fishing, but it even gets deeper. It gives, like it says here on the app, Hawaiian planting advice: plant gourds, your ipu, sweet potatoes, uala, pumpkins, corn, sharp tips of the moon huna or hide today. Okay, makes me think of the ipu too, because the ipu grows under the tips of the branches. Okay, Hawaiian fishing advice: holo holo. Expect good night fishing today, especially out at sea. Not a good day for seeking esoteric knowledge. Answers sought will remain huna, hidden. Because huna in Hawaiian means secret, secretive. And so it's not a good night or time to be ni'ele, or talk about any kind, or ask too much, or be too inquisitive. It's really about being quiet and observant about all that's around you. And I mentioned this about mahi'ai, people who are truly kamakakilolani. They pay attention to everything that's happening. Did it rain this morning? What time of the day did it rain? Farmers, true farmers are true kamakakilolani. They keep a diary about the weather and the seasons. What time did it rain? Was it 5:30 a.m., showered hard? Okay, 9:27 a.m., there was a mid-morning shower, lasted for 30 minutes. It was windy today. And they keep these records and they compare them from year to year. Why? So they can become better farmers, so they can provide the best they can for their ohana. And that is why Hawaiians cared so much about the passing of time and the season. Because, you don't like go fishing. If it's not a good time to go fishing, you're going to waste your energy going out there. Oftentimes, too, maybe it wasn't a fishing night, but it was a night when our lawai'a would go out and feed the fish. We used to do that, too. We used to feed our fish so that they get bigger and they get healthy. Time for fixing nets. So depending on how deep you want to get into this, it's a good way to kind of connect with your ohana too. To pay attention not only to the seasons of the weather and the changing of the weather, but even the changing of our growing ohana. Also for the wahine that's watching and listening, if you're a mother and you're a mother of daughters, also really good to pay attention to that. Why? Because we have our waimakalehua, we have our menses each month, and to be good mothers of daughters also means that we kind of have to be mindful of that season of their lives. How can we be supportive of them? How can we check on them? Are they in pain? How can we malama them? Are they going through opuhuli? All things to help keep us connected and prepared so that we can take care of one another. Really is the piko of it all, is how do we take care of our ohana. And what that practice does is help lead to stronger fertility. And that's the lei of our family, the legacy of our family. Strong fertility means you're going to have plenty babies. You're going to have, your blood is strong, your koko is strong. Okay? And to have an understanding of your cycle and teaching your daughters the importance of caring for themselves and caring for the knowing of and the study of their cycles helps them understand their fertility as they get older and they're ready for their own ho'ola ho'ola ho'olula hui, or to ho'omaka i kahi ohana, for them when they journey to begin their own families. Yeah? Okay. So this is a really light presentation of Kaulana Mahina. I'm happy to get deeper in it too, again. But yeah. So you'll see here, some calendars start in January and then February. Some start in October and then November. And you know, this is a collection of many resources of Hawaiians and how they viewed the passage of time. So to me, I think they're all right. I don't think anybody is like, this is the right one, that's the wrong one. I think they're all right in their own practice, yeah? Because this is thousands of years of ike that have been passed down to the kupuna. And luckily, that was recorded in a time when we could read and write. And now we have access to that ike. That's what I love about it most of all. Now, going to some mele about the mahina. One of my favorite mele is Pola Ila'i. So I'm just gonna pull that up. We're gonna sing that mele for you, maybe one or two, and then pau. Because I always like to make sure that there's mele in every papa ʻŌlelo Hawaiʻi. Yeah. A funny story. I sang this song with Uncle Ledward Ka'apana, and I didn't really know this song. I like knew it, but I didn't really know it. And whew, he was so sweet to me. He just smiled. But you know, we musicians, we all have times like that where we're on stage and you gotta just, you crash and burn, but sometimes crashing and burning is the best lesson. Okay, let me bring it up like this. Oh yeah. Maybe I gotta do that. Wait a little bit. Okay. Feel free to sing along back there if you guys like Hawaiian music. Aloha. Oh, too high. ka puana no ka pomahina laʻilaʻi. E kilo hoʻona ne ai nā hoku o ka lani. Haʻina mai ka puana no ka pomahina laʻilaʻi. Holono ana I ke kani, hone hone a ka ukulele. Haʻina mai ka puana no ka pomahina laʻilaʻi. Holono ana I ke kani, hone hone a ka ukulele. Okay, that's pomahina laʻilaʻi. And so we'll go through the words real fast. Ka'ua I ka holo holo. Ka'ua in Hawaiian, what I love about this word is in our language we signify the you and the me. And how blessed it is to have time shared with someone else, and it's one-on-one time. We hardly get that in life because everybody gets so busy, so pa'ahana. And our people found it so important to designate what and who we are with ka'ua. So sometimes, like me and my mom, we like to have holo holo dates, and I'll tell my mom, no, I want ka'ua time, meaning I don't want, I love my dad, but I'm like, I don't want dad around. I love my sisters. I mean, I love my sisters, but sometimes I just want it to be me and my mom, because it gives us both sacred time to focus on each other and not allow anything to divide our attention when we're together. Okay? So ka'ua I ka holo holo. You and I, we're going holo holo. Okay? I ka pomahina laʻilaʻi. I ka pomahina on a clear moonlit night. Okay? E kilo hoʻona nea, kilo. In Hawaiian, kilo like kilo hoku. Kamaka kilo lani also means to stargaze. So e kilo hoʻona nea, to gaze. E hoʻona nea. Nanea in Hawaiian means to relax, to enjoy, to gaze with enjoyment. Okay? E kilo hoʻona nea, I nā hoku o ka lani. To gaze at the stars in the sky. To gaze at the stars in the heavens. Okay? Second verse. Ko maia na ke ala, ko maia na ke ala. Okay? Ala in Hawaiian we know is like a fragrance. Okay? A beautiful scent. So ko mai ana ke ala, fragrance is lingering, is wafting throughout the air, here and there. O ka pua o ka pikake. What kind of ala, what kind of fragrance? The fragrance of the pikake. Okay? O ka pua o ka pikake, of the beautiful pikake flower. Hey Shani, hey Nela, aloha aloha. Hi Ua, good to see you. Okay? So ko mai ana ke ala, o ka pua o ka pikake. I hali hali ia mai. Okay, hali hali brought here this scent that's coming to me, that's filling the air around me. E kamakani kolonahe, by this gentle breeze that touches my face. Okay, e kamakani kolonahe. And I know we have the English translations on this side that I'm circling, but I kind of throw in my own understanding of what I've gathered, not only by studying these words, but watching the hula to these mele, which is another addition to my collective thought. Okay. Okay, next pauku. Ho'olono ana I ke kani, ho'olono ana I ke kani. Okay, ho'olono in Hawaiian, like ho'olono is, it's like to be reverence, to take time, like when you hear someone say e pule kako, everybody knows, okay, we're going to pray. You could even say e ho'olono kako, like put yourself in a state of reverence, in a state of spirituality, in a state of meditation. Okay, ho'olono ana I ke kani. Let's take some time to listen to the kani, to the sound. Hone hone aka ukulele, to the sweetness of the ukulele. Hone hone. Hey, hone hone in Hawaiian, the way we can remember hone hone is you always hear kupunas or parents of keiki say, hey, hone hone, make sure you hone hone your kupuna. Hone hone anake, hone hone anakala. Make sure you go around, tell everybody hi and hone hone. Okay, but even though this is hone hone, Hone hone is a sweetness. We also use this in reference to like the honeybees or honey. Anything that's sweet is like a hone hone. Even the word hoene ake kai. It's like that sweet sound of the ocean, okay? So hone, like a kiss. Hone, the sweetness of the ukulele, okay? Hone a ka ukulele. Me ka mele ho'ohau'oli, with the song that brings us such joy, that brings us and fulfills us with happiness. Ho'olana I ka pu'uwai. Now, in some mele, it's ho'olono a ka pu'uwai, and sometimes it's ho'olana ka pu'uwai or ho'olana I ka pu'uwai. If you listen to every version of this song that's available to you through YouTube or any type of streaming service, you'll hear a variation in this last line here. Ho'olana or ho'olono I ka pu'uwai. Okay? And next pauku, huliaku ka'ua iuka. Let us turn into the uplands, into the mountains. Ika a na kukui. Really, huliaku ka'ua iuka, we're going to turn our attention to what's taking place in the uplands. Now, there's some kauna here, I feel like there is. But for the people who are into Mele Hawaiʻi, you can allow your imagination to think of what this term, what this laina is saying. But huliaku kaua iuka, it also can be like we're going to turn towards each other, into the uplands. Ika a na kukui, okay? A in Hawaiian is like a brightness. It's like a lightness, a fiery thing, like a. But a na kukui, kukui in Hawaiian is like, that's what we use as, we reference to the term of light. Anything that's bright or twinkles, blinks. Ika a na kukui. Walike me na hoku, like the many stars. E kauana I na pali. That's right above the pali, right above the cliffs, okay? Here it says nestling. I kind of like that. Nestling or resting on the pali, okay? These last two ha'ina mai kapuana, no kapo mahina la'i, okay? This tells of this song, of this clear moonlit night. Okay, e kilo ho'onanea, to gaze, e ho'onanea, to gaze with great enjoyment, with interest, with relaxation. Ina hoku o kalani, the stars of the heavens, the stars of the sky. This last ha'ina mai kapuana no kapo mahina la'i, ho'olono ana I ke kani, hone a ka ukulele. Okay, ho'olono ana I ke kani. Stop. Take pause to listen to this beautiful sound, the sweet sound of the ukulele. Okay, and I'm gonna just do one more, and I'm gonna call it a day. I like Kananaka. I love this song, Kananaka. Kananaka, where are you? Okay, so for my beautiful ohana from Maui, I dedicate this song to you. Okay, Kili'i Rachel recorded this mele, and I'm just going to go through it really quickly before I sing it. O ka pā mai a ka ma'a, the ma'a winds, okay? O ka pā, okay? The ma'a wind blows, hali mai ana lai ke ala, bringing this beautiful scent, ke ala o nauno ka lipoa, the fragrance of lipoa, hana oia ka nipono. Now, you'll see some parallels in this mele to po mahina la'i, po la'i as well. Okay, we have the hali mai I ke ala o nauna, but instead of it talking about flowers, this is talking about the lipoa or the limu, the seaweed. Okay, hana oia ka nipono, hana oia ka nipono. Nani vale ia pu'eone, beautiful is the pu'eone or the sandbar, the sand dunes. Ika nalu he'e mai o Kananaka. Now, this song talks about the mermaid of Lahaina, the mermaid of the beaches there. And she was known as Kananaka. So ika na luhe'e maya o Kananaka. Kananaka surfs on Kahia Mako a he'e ai. The same place that we all surf to. Ika ehu ehu o ke kai, in the spray of the sea. Okay? O ka mahina hiki alo alo. The moon rises. Hiki alo alo. We can see the face of the moon. Alo in Hawaiian meaning front or face. O ka mahina hiki alo alo. It's coming up. Ho'ola ila'i ana la ina pali. Okay, ho'ola ila'i. There it is, coming up nicely, beautifully, calmly, right above the pali, the cliffs. Pohina vehi vehi ike o naona. The moonbeams, so alluring, so attractive. Koni ma'e'ele ike kino, thrilling and making the body move. O ka pā ko nane a ka mahina, the moon shines so brightly. Ho'ola ila'i ana I ka pola ila'i. Okay, bring la'i to the night, to the evening. Koni koni ana I ka iwi hilo. Okay, iwi hilo is like my core, the bone that's within. Koni koni ana I ka iwi hilo. Koni ma'ele I ke kino. Okay, so we can sing this together and then we're gonna be pao.
Hali hali mai ana lai ke ala o na o ka lipo ana o ea ka lipo no ana o ea ka lipo no o ka pa mai a ka maa hali hali mai ana lai ke ala o na o ka lipo ana o ea ka lipo no ana o ea ka vale. Nani vale ia pu e o ne lai ka nalu he e mai a o ka nanaka ka ia ma ko ai he ai ai ka ehu o ke kai ai ka ehu o ke kai o ka mai na hiki alo alo o ola ila ia na lai na pali o ina vehi vehi ke ona ona Honi ma'e'ele I ke kino, honi ma'e'ele I ke kino. Nani vale? Nani vale ia pu e o ne lai ka nalu he e mai a o ka nanaka ka hia ma ko ai he ai ka ehu o ke kai ai ka ehu o ke kai o ka pa konen o ka pā kona ne ka mahina o ola ila ia nai ka pola I o ka mahina hiki alo alo o ola ila ia nai ka pola I pohina vehi vehi ke ona ona poni ma'ele I ke kino a poni ma'ele I ke kino Nani vale? Nani vale ia pu e o ne lai ka nalu he e mai a o ka nanaka ka hia ma ko ai ai ka ehu o ke kai ai ka ehu o ke kai
All right, and that is my Papa ʻŌlelo Hawaiʻi. Thank you everybody for coming and joining and learning Kaulana Mahina with us tonight. Feel free to reach out to me at any time. If you are not pa'ahana, if you're not busy, if you are manuahi or free, as they say, on May 9th, I will be having a pretty big deal concert taking place. It is Saturday night, May 9th from 5 to 10 p.m. over at Taverna Costera. And I'm going to be debuting my first wine release. I'm releasing a Sauvignon Blanc. I've partnered with Full Wines, Very good family friends. They're ohana. We consider them ohana, and they live out in Los Angeles, Granada Hills, California. They grow their own grapes. They harvest their own grapes out of Santa Barbara. They have their own winemaking warehouse now. In the last 7 to 8 years, they've grown quite incredibly. I just marvel at their growth, and I'm so thankful to be doing this wine release with them. Mahalo. And I'm also releasing brand new Hawaiian music off of my first full-length Hawaiian album that I've done in like 10 years. So it's kind of a big deal. I've been dropping singles here, a single there, an EP here, an EP there. But it's been a long time since I've done a full-length Hawaiian music album. It's entitled E Kanika Pila Kako, means let's jam, let's play Hawaiian music. And so come and check this event out. Tickets are at MailaniLive.com. There's one VIP table left. And with that VIP table, you get to meet the winemakers, Matt and Kamanu Jager. They'll do a special pouring for you. That's a really big deal. You don't have to go to Napa. Just come to my wine and Hawaiian album release, and you get an experience that you would get at Napa, but even better. Why? Because you get Hawaiian music. Joining us will be Hale Nale o Kahikilani under the direction of Kumuhula Kahikilani Akana, who's out here in Las Vegas, but she comes from the beautiful Lim family lineage of hula. And she is born and raised Ke'e, South Kona. So she comes from a beautiful place on Hawaii Island. We also have, all the way from Seattle, joining us is Halau Mokihana Ika Uanoe under the direction of Kumuhula Mokihana Melendez. Her root goes back to Makaveli, Kauai. And I just came back from Seattle last weekend doing her ahamele. That was a lot of fun. And we also have Kumuhula Tiffany Zudameister from Halau Hula o Kalei Hoku, and she's going to be sharing some of her hula as well. So we have a lot of strong Aina e Kumuhula who come from Hawaii, who come from home, that will be sharing and supporting this release with me, and dancing brand new Hawaiian music here in Las Vegas. So ehele mai, ehele mai, ehele mai. And yeah, you guys take care. God bless you, and aloha. Cool.
Pali ko olo o kalahiki makaaino ailo kahiwa hiwa o na kupuna aloha ka halu'i kaua po ai hale ele vehi no ka pali ko olo o kalahiki makaaina o ailo kahiwa hiwa o na kupuna aloha ka halu'i kaua po ai hale ha'ala 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 ea ke ua mailai ma eli eli ke hele a ela kaua ka halepa ha'ahula le a kaua i ke kai kaua o ki ko'a mailai ma eli eli ele a ela kaua ka lepa ha'ahula le a kaua i ke kai kaua o ki ko'a o he eia ha'ala 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 ea ua olu kana hona i ka moa e kama kani kama ina me ke ke Uyehu na momi makamai Ikala iyo kamalu o na lauhui Wa olu kano honai Kamoa e kama kani kama aina me ke hau Uyehu mauli na momi makamai Ikala iyo kamalu o na lauhui Ua olu ka noho nai moa e kamakani kamaaina me ke hau Lui e maoli na momi makamae I kala I o ka malu o na lau kukui I kala I o ka malu o na lau kukui Ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala e a Pali ko olo o kalahiki makaaino ailo kahiwa hiwa o na kupuna aloha ka halui kaua po ai hale ele vehi no ka pali ko olo o kalahiki makaaina o ailo Kahiwa o nā kupuna Aloha ka halui Kaua po ai hale Ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala ea Ke ua mailai ma eli eli Ke hele a ela Kaua ka halepa Ha'ahula le a kaua I te kai Kaua o ki ko'a Ke ua mailai ma eli eli Ke hele a ela kaua ka lepa Ha'ahula le a kaua I ke kai Kaua o ki ko'a o he eia Ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala ea Ua olu ka nahona I ka moa e Kamakani kamaaina me ke Ui e humauli na momi makamai I kala I o ka malu o na lau kukui Ua olu ka nohona I ka moa e Kamakani kamaaina me ke hau Ui e humauli na momi makamai I kala I o ka malu o na lau kukui Ua olu ka nohona I ka moa e Kamakani kamaaina me ke hau Ui e humauli na momi makamai I kala I o ka malu o na lau kukui I kala I o ka malu o na lau kukui Ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala ea Pali ko olo o kalahiki makaaino ailo kahiwa hiwa o nā kupuna aloha ka halui kaua po ai hale ele I vehi no ka pali ko olo o kalahiki makaaina o ailo Kahiwa hiwa o nā kupuna Aloha ka halui Kaua po ai hale Ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala ea Ke ua mailai ma eli eli Ke hele a ela Kaua ka halepa Ha'ahula le a kaua I te kai Kaua o ki ko'a Ke ua mailai ma eli e kamakani kamaʻaina me ke hau Ui e humoli nā momi ma ka mai I ka laʻi o ka malu o nā laukuhui Ua olu ka nohona I ka moa e kamakani kamaʻaina me ke hau Ui e humoli nā momi ma ka mai I ka laʻi o ka malu o nā laukuhui Ua olu ka nohona I ka moa e kamakani kamaʻaina me ke hau Ui e humoli nā momi ma ka mai I ka laʻi o ka malu o nā laukuhui I ka laʻi o ka malu o nā laukuhui Ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala ea Pali ko olo o ka lahiki ma ka aino ailo ka hiwa hiwa o nā kupuna aloha ka haluʻui ka ua po ai hale Hele I wehi no ka pali ko olo o ka lahiki ma ka aina o ailo Ka hiwa hiwa o nā kupuna Aloha ka haluʻui ka ua po ai hale Ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala ea Ke ua mailai ma eli eli Ke hele a ela ka ua ka halepa Ha'ahula lea ka ua I ke kai Ka ua o ki ko'a Ke ua mailai ma eli eli Ke hele a ela ka ua ka lepa Ha'ahula lea ka ua I ke kai Ka ua o ki ko'a o he eia Ha'ala, ha'ala, ha'ala ea Ua olu ka nohona I ka moa e Kamakani kamaʻaina me ke hau Ui e humoli nā momi ma ka mai I ka laʻi o ka malu o nā laukuhui Ua olu ka nohona I ka moa e Kamakani kamaʻaina me ke hau Ui e humoli nā momi ma ka mai I ka laʻi o ka malu o nā laukuhui Ua olu ka nohona I ka moa e Kamakani kamaʻaina me ke